Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Super Mario Sunshine. Last time we started, or rather pretty much, we started Rico. Oh wait. Okay, so don't mind me. I'm sort of messing up here a little bit. Last time we started Gelato Beach, but you know, we just sort of tapped out after 2 levels. So we're going back in, we're going to be finishing up. We should be able to finish up Gelato Beach this episode. Wiggler ahoy, full steam ahead. This was a level that got me frustrated as a kid. Because of the fact that I didn't really understand how exactly... Because I never really bothered to understand how this level worked. So basically what you gotta do here... You need to flip with Wiggler on his back. Or her back, its back. And... Oh no. I might want to get away from it, because its path changes every time that you knock it off. And it always seems to have an interest towards trying to kill you. Now... I think it's actually going to work with this one. Okay, now I have an idea as to when that'll happen, because it changes slightly each time that it comes through here. There we go. I've never had it actually end up on land. I've even had it... Let's see here. Okay. Uh-oh! I think it's... Okay, I have an idea. Because I think I know because I think I can get it over towards this way. Oh, it's not close enough. I think the only spot that's close enough for it is that area over there, which is where it usually ends up. Yep, there we go. Okay, now I gotta hurry. Oh. Sorry if my commentary was very meh, but it's just I was in concentration mode. But yeah, that's pretty much the boss fight in and of itself. There's no other enemies here. So yeah, you could just, and the only enemy was Wiggler. In fact, there's even a point where that on some occasions it will end up starting to run up the hill area. Like, you know, way off in the distance. Like, it'll start running up there, causing a nuisance. Which is, like, you know, pretty aggravating. I mean, do you really want to have to go through all of that? The Sandbird is born. Okay, this is sort of like a major plot point, because the whole point of this area is the Sandbird. It's one of its main attractions. And now that Sandbird has hatched, and, well, people are basically observing the tour spot. So what we want to do is that we want to head over to where... Oh. I actually kind of forgot that there was one there. So what we want to do is that we need to head up here. Okay, and then you see that hole? That's our target. special level here. You want to jump onto the sandbird and start grabbing coins. This is a red coin mission. And no, there is no secret of the sand... Technically, there is no secret of the sandbird if that's what you guys are worried about. This is just a level that sort of has you crawl all over the sandbird looking for these red coins. And there are blue coins here, so keep an eye out for that. And so long as you press, like, you know, the continue button, you will always end up having the chance to get them again. I suppose I might as well go ahead and pick this one up. Okay. Now, you only can grab 7 on top of the sandbird itself. And once it passes the second blue coin, it'll start trying to ascend sideways. There are 3 blue coins in this particular area in total. So if you're missing some blue coins around in this area and you know you've got all the other ones in the overworld area, check this area. Be sure to check this area. Now, this is why I like having Flood out. Flood saves your butt. Now, you might be wondering where the last coin is. It's up there, on that platform. And that is also where we will achieve our Shine Sprite. So, just wait a bit longer. Okay. And yeah, it's not a too terribly difficult mission. The only hard part is when you have to remember to remember that little catch hold. And basically, the sandbird's just sort of circling around the tower area. You just want to be careful and make sure that you don't fall off, because if you fall off, you gotta start from the beginning again. Now for the next episode, which I think I know which one this is, because it's going to be introducing us to a new type of level. Yes. Piantissimo the Second's Sand Sprint. Il Piantissimo is a very special character. He's that pink dude right there. He's the pink cuck. He's a renowned racer. And he is very arrogant. In fact, the townspeople will pretty much thank you for basically besting him in a race because of his otherwise arrogance. And as you can see around us, all the cataquacks have turned from blue to red. Now, something that I haven't mentioned up until now is that, well, blue cataquacks are relatively harmless, though. Well, yes, they'll get in your way a bit. It's not like they're going to actually do damage to you or anything. And the reason why I'm just sort of spraying this ground here is to try to find a tree. And the reason why I want this tree here is to find this here. This gives us access to the turbo nozzle. Because in my opinion, you can do this one of 2 ways. You can do it legitimately by, you can best him in a race by using the water slide dash, or just by, just running better than him and not failing at it. Or you could do what I like to do and best him in a race with this thing. This is the only time that you can best him with this sort of nozzle. Though you do have to, do be careful. If you get close enough to him, you'll automatically go into a cutscene with him, where he starts talking to you. And the funny thing is that... and the funny thing is that... And the funny thing is that apparently in his data set, he takes the appearance of that of the mailman from Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. And yeah, I got here pretty much twice, just slightly above twice as fast as him. And you can actually sort of and you can see him just sort of try to reach up here. You're pretty good. You have some speed. and he says that you have ever grown so slightly in my esteem. That's sort of weird because Now, the reason why he says that is because this could possibly not be your first encounter with him. Because he appears in, let's see here. He appears in three of the areas in the game. He appears in 3 hub worlds of the game. And he always appears in the sprint levels. And every time, and it basically sort of takes your use of the map and knowing which way you're supposed to go, and using the terrain of the map to your advantage. Now next, is pretty much the other reason why I wanted to pick up the turbo nozzle. Red coins and the coral reef. This is your other red coin mission that doesn't not involve the secret missions. Now the reason why I'm coming over here is because once you find find the turbo nozzle, you can now also find it over here. Now you want to try to avoid this fish here. You want to try to avoid that fish there because it'll try to drag you under and make your attempts a bit more difficult. And I'm going to go ahead and try to target the... No! Come on! Okay, I got them. I got one of the 2 more irritating red coins to try to get. Because there are, I believe, 2 red coins that sort of circle the perimeter of the area following schools of fish. Okay, I got the 2 difficult ones. Now I can just sort of get the others in any order that I want, because the other 6 are always going to be because 6 of them are always going to be the same place, whereas the other 2 will be with 2 packs of fish. And the thing is that just like the fish in this game, they can go through walls, and well, you can't. Now let's see here. There's not one there. And it's just, you want to be careful and make sure that you scour the area to make sure that you don't miss one. Because it's the worst when it's like, I've got all but one of them, so where'd the last one go? And that's why I like to go ahead and get the really annoying ones out of the way, the ones that sort of circle around the perimeter. I wanted to make sure that I picked those up because I know that those were probably going to be a handful. And having the turbo nozzle really does help, in my opinion. It's also really helpful for when you do some special blue coins that pop up in the later levels too. And here's the last one. Here we go. There it is, and it's right there on the top of a rock that's just slightly above the sea level. Okay. Now where? Yeah. These levels really are not difficult so long as you know what you're doing. So long as you have an idea of what you're supposed to do and you understand the general strategies, then these levels should not be much of a problem. Sure, they might get a little bit more challenging as time progresses, and oh boy, I wonder how many miles each of these toads have been running around in circles for. They're going to be getting their 4K, and by the time they go home to their toadette girlfriends, well, you know, despite the fact that it's actually been confirmed that Toad and Toadette are not actually in a romantic relationship of any necessity, but I guess it'd be nice for them to put on a gun show. Now, as I've stated before in Bianco Hills, Shadow Mario appears and you have to chase him down in the 7th level of each area. And if you see towards that area, that's a beehive. The beehive wasn't there in the beginning areas of the area. And you gotta chase them around everywhere. If you don't get him down in the first 5 seconds, he just sort of messes with you a whole lot. Come on. Submit! I don't remember him ever actually running towards this area. Come on. Jump down. Oh, got him! Darn it, this ain't over. And by the way, starting at like level 5 or so, you'll see that there's or rather level 6 or so, no, level 5. You'll see that there's a blue cataquack in the trees. You do get a blue coin out of like bumping him. Out of bumping him with water and then, like, you know, stomping on his butt. Similar to the red cataquack that you can encounter in the first half of the levels. And then next we're going to do what a lot of people consider to be their least favorite. And one that none of them ever liked to do. And if you're wondering as to why I still sound kind of cheerful, that's because I know a loophole that not a lot of people seem to understand or that they don't care about doing because they consider it faster. Despite the fact that doing it the way how I do it just tends to be more consistent. It is the Watermelon Festival. And basically, in order to get that shine sprite there, you gotta come in with the biggest watermelon. Where's the big? And you see that there's, like, you know, a couple of watermelons off in the distance. So where's the biggest one? The biggest one is up in that area around where we stopped Shadow Mario and got the shine sprite out of him. So you might, and there's cataquacks everywhere. If they bump it, if they so much as bump it, your
watermelon goes by. Now how do you handle the cataquacks? There's one of two ways. Either gruesomely trying to, you know, just get over stuff and try to get used to stuff, or you can do what I do and kill them off. Now there's two ways of killing them. Either they have to walk into water, which they will never do on their own. Like, don't even try. It's like stupidly difficult to get them to walk into the water. Or you can have bunches of these guys try to chase you down. Like, you know, get these guys in like a bunch or a group, like a conga line of, like, you know, horrifying red death. Ooh. And you get them over by these sand dunes here. And they go kersport. They all die and they each drop a coin from that. And honestly, the way how I like to do it is get rid of all the ones on the lower levels. Oh, you thought those were the only ones that were here? No. There's also cataquacks up in the top areas on a lower level than where you'll find the biggest watermelon. And yes, if they touch, and as I stated before, if they so much as touch it, I'll give you an example. Oh, wait. Whoa. Whoop. Oh, that's okay. Okay, you see? They so much as touch it, it explodes. That's why you gotta jump on and everything. So, basically by this point, I've already sped up the video so for your viewing pleasure, I am doing this quickly and not dilly-dallying my time. Now, also be careful. I wonder how that's going to sound. And some people might say, well, you're not doing it fast. I'm just saying, I've already killed most of the ones on the lower level. The only other ones that I'm probably not bothering to go run off and do at this moment right now are the ones that are over closer by the green area and ones that aren't close by this general area. They all go split. Time to rinse and repeat. Come on, stupid Satan's red duckies. I wonder if Satan has like a bathtub that has, like, you know, just bees. They just have, like, you know, rubber duckies of bees just floating in magma. That'd be an interesting thought. Food for thought.
And yeah, that's pretty much all but one of them on the lower level, and that's all the ones I wanted to really worry about. Okay, now to get up there, and you do have the ladder in case. Have the set of stairs and ladders, and whoa, that was a really weird effect. If you want to, but we're not going because you see, if you're wondering why I'm not bothering with those, that's because any Doom Buns that are down there move it downwards and not upwards. So that sort of makes our job a little harder. Okay, where is it? Because I know it went over in this... Oh, thank goodness. You see? Makes it so much easier. Now, all you gotta do is make sure that you don't bump it up against something or move too quickly against it. Otherwise, there's a chance that it might pop. And if it does, well, bully for you, you gotta do it again. So, try to be careful. And you see, this is what I find to be super consistent. And it's not enough that you have it down on the beach. No, you have... another reason why people really hate this level is the fact that you gotta bring it up to the cabana area. Okay. 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 Just try to be careful. Don't. And by the way, if it bumps into the water, it also blows up or goes poof. Yeah. The reason why you need that one is because is that he'll acknowledge that it's so big that you don't even need to, like, you know, pull out, like, you know, a measuring device for it. And yay, fruit smoothies, watermelon smoothies for everyone. But before we go up there, I want to introduce you guys to something that I find to be a very terrifying idea. But before I do that, it's just like, you know, just roll your watermelon over this pier to the shop. Like, you know, all these people are trying to, like, you know, win the competition. I think I have the biggest watermelon right now. But what'll I do if someone brings a bigger one? Oh no! And here's the thing, is that we knew this guy from the harbor. So how about it? Mine's the biggest, right? I mean, right? This thing's in the bag, man, in the bag. Wahaha! Now, here's the thing about what she says. The guy next to me forced a coin on me and then, well, he made me switch watermelons with him. Yeah, so basically he forcefully bribed her and then took her watermelon away from her. I find that really funny. Oh, there is something that I do want to show off, and it's something that terrified me as a kid.
Now for this, I decided to leave one of the ducks alive. Come on, you stupid airhead. Come and get this sexy Italian. Hey, over here. My gluteus is over here. Now, you might be wondering as to why I'm doing this. Well, you see, over there it has a very low roof. And the catacracks send you sky high into the air with a lot of hits on. And red ones tend to kill you. So, what I'm basically doing is that I'm dragging it over here and putting myself into a near-death trap. Why? Because I want to sort of show off this sort of magnitude of how scary it is. And the worst part is that...
Oop! Okay, I was messing around a little too much. And with any luck, it probably fell into the water and turned into dipping dot, into a sludge of dipping dots. Yay! And yeah, I suppose I might as well go over there and activate the cutscene because I'm getting a little sick of seeing it. And I wonder who could be behind all this. I mean, the fact that it has like a giant spiky shell, really derpy design, reminiscent of that of a Cheep Cheep. Clearly, it's the work of the Cheep Cheeps. Those scum! Do I make it? Yeah, I make it. Now, here's the thing: is that you can reach it from pretty much anywhere. And that you can even go this way over into the water. And you know that you clearly landed into the water, but you entered through here. His is longer than mine! If you guys heard a smack, that was my palm. That was my head connecting with my palm. The corporate businessman! I knew it! Oh, and by the way, the second that you have like around like 30 or so shine sprites or so, that area opens up. We'll get to that area later. But, I suppose to close this video out, I guess I might as well do a quick little shine sprite so that this is saved in the data. I'm actually curious if it redoes itself if you don't go directly into Peanut Park.
Is it impossible for me to jump on top of an umbrella? There! Okay. Now for this special shine, you need to line this up. You just need one coin for this. And if you happen to have hit it right, which is honestly rather hard to miss, like you actually have to be trying to miss it half the time, you landed it here and get yourself a shine. Yeah, so that's cool. But I want to show off one more shine. Just one more, guys. Don't worry. pretty much the default area until you get into like the final part areas of the game. Oh, did I spoil that? Whoopsie doopsie, I did the bad thing. Oop. Okay, now this is one of those shine sprites that you can get anytime during the game, and it doesn't require a power up or anything like that. Because you can do a little side jump there, and then just doing a regular jump, you can fly over the way over here and then take care of this. And so long as you see sparks there, you know that you're cleaning it up. Plus the black inky goop will also go away as well. Wow, this is going on for quite a while. And when you finally get rid of it, a shine sprite pops up. And it floats down into this little cage area. Now, how might it get over there? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Because on this little spot here that has really no place being here, you can also go underground in the tunnels area. And this is actually something that I really like, because when you do it, you also activate the underground music. Now, you want to line your shot up, and then for some reason, you'll always skyrocket into the sky, as with most of these. And there's yourself another shine. Sweet. But, it's another 29. You know what, I'll do one more. That's the thing with this game, is that I always just go, one more, just one more. Now, oh shoot, what do I actually want to do? Well, shoot, I can't think at the moment. Alright, this guy. He'll just sort of run around and also sort of like, Oh, by the way, this spot right here, you see that there's like a right underneath us. This is one of your better places to pick up a one-up once you know that it's there. Now, let me think here. Oh, right, there is something I just thought of that I could do. Now, you guys are... Alright, get all the way over here. There's this guy in here with a whole bunch of boxes. Break up the crates within 30 seconds to win a prize. Now, the best way to do this is to try to line your shot up so that you break both boxes, 2 boxes at a time. That's the best way of how to handle this. And then there's also just these 2 other random boxes here. And when you do that, he will give you a shine sprite. You do it again under the same circumstances, and he will give you another shine sprite. Sort of similar to how the other one, when if you did it under a faster time than the one that you did before, you end up getting get yourself another shine sprite.
It's sort of similar to that. Anyways, guys, that'll be it tonight. You all have fun, take care, and I'll see you all next time.